Hi there. I have been accused of hating rich people. And if you've seen some of my other videos, especially Aristocracies Are Anti-American and Counter-Revolution, a 9-point agenda for change, you may understand why. But I do not hate people, rich or otherwise. I do hate aristocracies, although I do not hate their members. I hate a society which permits people to possess unearned privileges through membership in aristocracies. I actually believe in true meritocracy. I love a society in which humans have freedom to explore opportunity, to strive for wealth and power if they so choose, or to strive for creativity, or to strive for meaningfulness and significance in their lives, and certainly to strive for love. And I believe that the only way we can move toward such a society is through the engine of freedom and equal opportunity, the supercharger of civilization, which is the expansion of human rights. More human rights for more human beings. Any human being who strives for wealth and or power and plays by the rules, obeys the laws, and pays the taxes, should be permitted to do what he or she wants with that wealth within the law. It is incumbent upon us who constitute the society to write and enforce laws, including tax policy, which restrain those individuals who possess wealth and power from behaving in ways detrimental to society. And one of the ways most detrimental to society is aristocracy. We need laws which prevent aristocracies from occurring. Now, aristocracies are created when individual human beings receive unearned wealth and or power. The unearned wealth and or power bestows upon members of the aristocracy certain unearned privileges which exceed the basic rights enjoyed by all human beings within the society. Those privileges, because they are unearned, constitute an evil to society. The most common form of aristocracy, and thus of unearned privileges, is the transfer of wealth from generation to generation by wealthy families. Recipients of that unearned wealth possess privileges which destroy society's equality of freedom and opportunity. And for this reason, I propose we refocus our tax laws to abolish aristocracies. We can accomplish this in part by reinvigorating the Anti-Aristocracy Tax. Now, you may think you never heard of the Anti-Aristocracy Tax. That is probably because you know it by a different name. Corrupt politicians owned by aristocracy since Ronnie Rodeo have referred to it as the death tax. Its official name is the Estate and Gift and Generation Skipping Transfer Tax. And this tax only applies to very wealthy families. It's not a tax on death. It's a tax on the practice of passing on wealth and thus unearned privileges to subsequent generations of wealthy families, thus creating aristocracies. The estate tax, which is the first part of this tax, is designed to limit the wealth that can be transferred to beneficiaries upon the death of a rich person. The gift tax, the second part, is designed to prevent rich people from giving great wealth to their beneficiaries before they die in order to avoid the estate tax. And the generation skip and transfer tax prevents families who attempt to avoid a taxable event by transferring wealth to grandchildren instead of children. Before Ronnie Rodeo, estates of $150,000 or higher were potentially subject to this tax. And although these estates paid a small amount, a lower rate, the maximum rate for very large estates was 70%. At that time, there were many loopholes that could be used to avoid or reduce the taxes. This tax certainly did not prevent aristocracies, but it slowed their growth rate. Well, after 40 years of Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican revolution, today the tax doesn't apply unless the estate is over $5.5 million, $11 million for a married couple. Anybody else not subject to it at all? And although the rate starts low, the maximum rate for huge fortunes is only 40%. But few estates even pay that. Loopholes have proliferated, and lawyers and lobbyists are making new ones all the time. Such a weak tax slows aristocracy down just a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. And yet, the Republican Party platform consistently advocates complete abolition of this tax. We don't need to abolish the tax. We need to abolish the aristocracies. I propose that we lower the exclusion to $1 million for a single individual, $2 million for a married couple. For the next million after that, the rate would be 20%. Then the rate would increase steadily through several individual brackets until at $500 million, the rate would be 98 or 99%. 'Cause no one should ever be able to pass on more than $500 million to beneficiaries who did not earn it. And of course, we need to close down the loopholes of trusts and other legal shenanigans designed to avoid this tax. The only exemption which I would allow would be for contributions to legitimate charities. Aristocracies are un-American, anti-democratic, and at this point in history, if they are allowed to continue, they have the potential to lead to total destruction. I do not hate human beings, wealthy or otherwise. I do hate institutions which are destructive of human rights. And among those I hate most, because among the most destructive are aristocracies. A key element in reversing Ronnie Rodeo's reactionary Republican revolution must be to abolish aristocracies, and a major weapon for that purpose can be the Anti-Aristocracy Tax. Now, the Anti-Aristocracy Tax I've been talking about here is just one part of my 9-point agenda for change. Videos covering other aspects of that agenda and much else can be found on your friendly neighborhood internet at www.daffwold.com. Thank you all for your attention. I hope it has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you'll join me again sometime.